What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Marie Fredriksson, and we're returning to the 1992 album that translates to The Constant Journey, and the next track is One Life, or at least that's what Google Translate says. Thank you again to Jeebus for this material. And yeah, it suggests a hint of mortality as well as the singularity of a life trajectory, and whether or not you have metaphysical beliefs about some other form of life after death, it remains true that biologically speaking, we humans have one life. Now, of course, it could be one life in a different context, if that is an accurate translation in the first place. The idea of having one life in a certain time and place, and maybe a different life in another time and place, or one life before you're sharing a life with another person. So I could see different manifestations, but when I looked at the translation and assuming it's correct, my thought was mortality, the idea of having one shot at this crazy thing we call life, and thus there could be wisdom derived from the appreciation and understanding of that biological fact. So I do wonder what will be at play. Once again, I don't expect to understand anything in the moment because it will be in Swedish, but let's give it a listen. This is Marie Fredriksson. The tune, I Understand, is One Life, and it comes from her 1992 album that translates to The Constant Journey.
Bäste vän, du hittade aldrig hem, och du ska veta att det känns så stark men ändå svag. Om vi bara hade förstått att ge dig all vår kraft till det liv vi borde ha. Ett enda liv försvann som ingenting. Ett enda liv, ditt liv. Ett enda år försvann som ingenting. Ett enda år utan dig. Minns så väl. Det spelar ingen roll, du finns inte mer hos oss. Ditt skratt är allt jag har i mina minnen som lever kvar. Ett enda liv försvann som ingenting. Ett enda liv, ditt liv.
that one a lot, and in some ways it had flavors sonically that I've come to expect or am not surprised at all to hear in Marie's tunes, but there was a bit of a guitar edge in this one. It had a bit more of like a synth rock feel, maybe not in a like vintage rock set manner, but yeah, the guitar really did stand out, as did the drums, in not an identical way as to the Yelena Teeter tune I just reacted to, but not terribly different if described generally, meaning there were some flourishes and end of measure fills that had a bit like more dynamic sound, including right at the end with those like doubles and triples that it was doing as it went from one measure to the next. And I like the ambience of the tune. It felt like a tune that you'd listen to on a journey, constant or otherwise, and the kind of tune that would, fit with sort of a montage or a non-dialogue scene in a film. And yes, I don't know what is happening lyrically, but I do wonder if my sense of one life in terms of, mortality or, being on this singular life trajectory has any relevance. But as always, she has lovely vocals, and there was almost like a very like tight sound to her vocals. Like they were, there was no like echo or like effect added to them. It felt like a very like true vocal as recorded in the studio or in the booth type of sound at a couple moments. And maybe when it was more stripped down at the beginning, and there was a section later where it sort of narrowed again in terms of the sonic surroundings. And in those moments, it sounded like a very tight and true vocal, if that makes sense. But yeah, a really compelling tune, and I enjoy, again, the slightly edgier sound with the guitar, but still, very flowing and melodic. So definitely a cool one from Marie. I look forward to hearing what people have to say about the themes. Let me know, and I will see you next time. Peace.